So let's hear it.
Their main, quote, goal as a company is now to teach kindergartens in Florida that they can, in fact, change their gender just by wishing it so. It makes you wonder if kids in Florida can consent to chemical castration with no parental involvement. If that can be true, what exactly can't they consent to once we set that standard? Disney.
What the fuck, Tucker? Oh my God, I can't believe Tucker Carlson came out for in support of trans rights only because he thinks like that means he can do pedophilia. That's weird. Classic libertarian brain at work here. He thinks that is how that works, but it doesn't. Unfortunately for Tucker, because one is not damaging to the child. As a matter of fact, it's harm reduction for a child, specifically a trans child, if they're able to get early on, if they're able to get hormone blockers, puberty blockers. The other, on the other hand, is just incredibly damaging. Pedophilia to the child is the child's development. So sorry, Tucker, it's not going to happen like that. Okay. Also, no such thing, no such castration, no such chemical castration occurs. What a deeply, deeply disgusting way of describing a process that does not occur at all. Nice try, Tucker. You couldn't let that slide, you fucking pedophile piece of shit, you libertarian motherfucker.
Disney didn't say, but maybe there's another agenda here. Nor did they explain their fixation on the sexuality of children. But it's worth pointing out that...
fun fact, once again, Tucker Carlson has quite literally defended pedophiles in the past. White supremacist pedophiles, of course, and have said it's not a big deal when white people do it. What's going on? This used to be a country that stood for something, where white people were allowed to marry children. Obviously not the Pakistani or any of the other brown countries that want to do similar practices. When it's happening there, it's barbaric. But when it's happening here in the imperial core, conducted by civilized, Christian, white people, well, then that's completely acceptable. But America wants you to stop that. Our founding fathers also engaged in these acts at a time when these acts were considered appropriate and actually celebrated. What's going on? Why isn't Tucker's mouth moving? I'm confused. Yeah, I'm doing a... For the record, the Tucker Carlson thing I'm talking about is 100% true. Who's the fucking guy? He went to jail. He defended Warren Jeffs.
At HasanAbi gifted sub again. Let's go.
Wait, let me see. Here it is.
Here, this is not a mere cultural difference. No 13-year-old child can meaningfully consent to marry. In the United States,
for the record, I agree. I agree with that.
If an adult has sex with a middle schooler, we call it rape. But when government...
So he said this, and then he turned around and he said, when defending Warren Jeffs, he literally said, here, hold on, let's play this out.
Bureaucrats grant immigration petitions, they don't consider that. They consider only whether the marriage would be legal in the person's home country. Pakistan has a very different definition of marriage and of rape than the West does. Many Americans may not even understand how different. By sanctioning Amin's forced marriage at the age of 13, America became an accomplice to sexual slavery.
I mean, other than going out to bat for Roy Moore, Tucker Carlson also famously said this. Sorry for how loud it is.
He's not in prison for that. Warren Jeffs didn't marry underage girls.
No, he's in prison for facilitation of child rape.
Whatever the hell that means?
That means
he's in prison. He's in prison because he's weird and unpopular, and he has a different lifestyle that other people find creepy.
No, he's an
Wow. Cult leader, white supremacist cult leader, who conducted multiple child marriages. That's cool. I mean, I covered this a long time ago, you know, back when some of you might have even had a different point of view on Tucker Carlson. You might have even been a fan of Tucker Carlson. So let me bring you back to some of the old HasanAbi hits. Okay? By the way, he also personally did marry underage girls as well, but he also married them in his own cult to other adults. But here it is. I mean, here's Tucker Carlson quite literally defending it. Hasan, you're being lifestylist. Yeah, I am. You know, as someone who, you know, morally lucked into his positions around the, you know, I guess I was morally lucky for a lot longer than a lot of the other people that criticize me. But, you know, this is some vintage Tucker right here.
Other people find creepy.
No, he's an accessory to the rape of children. That is a felony, and a serious one at that.
What do you mean an accessory? He's like got some weird religious cult where he thinks it's okay to, you know, marry underage girls, but he didn't do it. Why wouldn't the guy who actually
did do it,
who had sex with an underage girl, he should be the one who's doing life? The rapist in this case has made a lifelong commitment.
Yeah, doesn't end there. He was like, not enough. Gonna defend the more.
To live and take care of the person. So it is a little different. I mean, let's just be honest about it. He's not accused of touching anybody.
Bro, this is literally like, yo, Tucker Carlson right here. You know what Tucker Carlson's doing right here? He's doing shit that like debate lords love doing on the internet. Where, you know, he's debate lording the beauties of child marriage. Okay, that's what he's doing right here. Why? Because it's a white person doing it. That's precisely why. Because in Tucker Carlson's world, he 1,000,000% thinks it's acceptable. It's 1,000,000% acceptable if white people do it. Okay, that's it.
Accused of facilitating a marriage between a 16-year-old girl and a 27-year-old man.
Also not true. Also not true. That wasn't 16 and 27.
The accusation. That's what they're calling felony rape.
But in our
that's
state,
bullshit. I'm sorry. Now, this guy may be a total creep, maybe a child rapist. I'm just telling you that arranging a marriage between a 16-year-old and a 27-year-old is not the same as pulling a stranger off the street and raping her. That's bullshit.
You know what, in my brief experience, you know what gets women going is arguing with them.
Really?
Okay, so the rest of it is just like other misogynistic shit. But so remember, that's Tucker Carlson's position. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about what is he saying? Chemical castration.
4 Disney employees were just busted in a major human trafficking sting, including one employee who allegedly sent sexually explicit text to a detective posing as a 14-year-old.
Wait, what?
Their main, quote, goal as a company is now to teach kindergartens in Florida that they can, in fact...
Dude, the irony here is that, like, he is always, while maintaining the position that I just showed you, he then also will literally fucking say, like, random employees are basically, like, responsible for, like, everything that the company is doing. I don't even know who the fucking employees are. I never know who these, like, I never know what the details of stories like this are, and I'm certainly not going to find out from watching Tucker Carlson because he is here to present a perspective. And that perspective is that basically having a conversation even about like the existence of LGBT members in society is the same as grooming kids to do sex trafficking. Like that's literally what his argument is here. Let's make no mistake. That's precisely what he's trying to say. And that is also deeply homophobic. It's a super old school homophobic take too, to be like, oh yeah, every gay person is like grooming children by being gay around children. That's like you're grooming them. It's just super old school, super old school fucking homophobic bullshit. Let's hear the whole clip now. Actually, let's watch the whole one.
Groups like the HRC have decided to push this propaganda as hard as they possibly can. And they don't care what you think because it's not about democracy. It's not about...
Yeah, they've just replaced gay with trans. And some dumb motherfuckers, specifically in the gay community, okay, specifically the L's and the G's, unironically jumped on that shit so quick, it was fucking mind-boggling. I'm like, dude, are you stupid? Like, this is literally what they said about you, like, 10 years ago, you dumb fuck. Why are you repeating the same idiotic fucking propaganda? Like, you stupid bitch.
What parents want.
Now, obviously, that's not, like, by and large the entirety of the LGBT community or anything like that, obviously, but, like, wild that some did jump on that. Specifically, I'm looking at you, oi bruvs, okay? Goddamn, like, so much of the fucking turf shit directly comes out of that goddamn island. What the fuck is going on, dude? The LGB. Oh, the LGB, bruv. No T's here. LGB.
Disney, for example, is a major donor to the HRC and has been pretty explicit about this point. Quote, Florida's HB 1557, also known as the Don't Say Gay bill, should never have passed and should never have been signed into law. Disney said in an official statement. This is the company you also hand your kids over to. Woohoo, not creepy. Quote, our goal as a company is for this law to be repealed by the legislature or struck down in the courts. So let's just think about this for a minute. Here you have a law passed in a democratically elected state legislature, signed by a democratically elected governor, supported by the majority of Florida voters, but it must be struck down because the oligarchs at the mouse company don't like it. Oh. So shouldn't you get back to making kids' movies propagandizing for China? Shouldn't you get back to wrecking the state of Florida with your pollutants, you environmental criminals? Yeah, well, they've got other business. And their main, quote, goal as a...
Like, I'm all in favor of shitting on Disney, by the way. It's awesome when, you know, the powerhouse of Disney that has dominated, like, California and Florida politics for so many fucking years, that is almost single-handedly responsible for the most fucked up patent laws that we have, internationally even. It's awesome to shit on Disney. But you found the one instance where, like, Disney's not in the wrong and is, as a matter of fact, literally fucking... doing it for just pandering reasons, and you're just shitting on that. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Company is now to teach kindergartens in Florida that they can, in fact, change their gender just by wishing it so. It makes you wonder if kids in Florida can consent to chemical castration with no parental involvement. If that can be true, what exactly can't they consent to once we set that standard? Disney didn't say. But maybe there's another agenda here. Nor did they explain their fixation.
By the way, the irony, of course, is that Disney directly, as a consequence of being based in Florida, has literally funded every politician to a certain degree. Has funded every politician that has written that law, okay? Straight up. There is no way that Disney did not beef up the Republican Party's defenses here. They literally fund both sides, okay? They do. So that's what every gigantic mega corporation does. They completely dominate Florida. So kind of weird that now they're coming out and being like, "Oh man, this is really fucked up." Ooh, don't say gay bill. What? That's crazy. We say gay here.
On the sexuality of children. But it's worth pointing out that 4 Disney employees were just busted in a major human trafficking sting, including one employee who allegedly sent sexually explicit text to a detective posing as a 14-year-old. That bust occurred, as you may have guessed by now, in the state of Florida. Some of the most powerful...
I mean, I do get... that's... The least shocking thing is that a pedophile was busted in Florida. Let's be real, okay? I mean, that's kind of what the state is there for. It's for, like, cryptocurrency and pedophilia often goes hand in hand, you know? Conservatives on Twitter has weaponized online anti-pedophilic panic to latch on to knowing about gay and trans people as grooming somehow. Yeah, it's really fucked up. So who in the Biden White House thought the child porn defending judge was a good choice?
Love you, Hasan.
Maybe you should ask Matt Walsh. The pedophile scandal in the Catholic Church is not a pedophile scandal. The vast majority of victims are post-pubescent teens. Oh my God, he did that. Actually, it's a phebophilia argument. And young men, the real problem in the church that everyone sees and few will say out loud, gay priests. Jesus Christ, dude. He ended up defending the gay priests, though, in a weird way, I guess. The gay pedophile priests, of course. So even then, he was like, actually, it's ephebophilia, so it's not pedophilia technically. Very weird. Yeah, my man said, I will tolerate pedophilia, but I draw the line at homosexuality, which is wild. Like, can you mathematically arrive at the worst take in this situation? Well, Matt Walsh can. He ended up, 1, defending pedophiles, and then 2, being like, and then 2, turn the fucking anger towards homosexuality. Awesome. That's awesome. That is an incredible way to fucking arrive at this conclusion.
Hey, the video is over now. But if you enjoyed that, why don't you like, comment, and subscribe? And if you want to see more of that, just go, well, YouTube's got it around here somewhere.